All right, guys, welcome to the call with Josh. This is kind of a last minute call. And for those of you guys that are going to be watching the recording, welcome. Thank you for jumping on, listening to the recording. Okay, so what's going to happen is Josh is going to hop on in a second. And he is going to kind of talk and share some things. And then what we're going to do is for the people that have like taken his trainings and really been in a huge push, he's going to kind of work and just kind of ask questions. We'll have like a question and answer session. So if you have questions and you want to put them in the chat, go ahead. And if you've taken his trainings before, oh my gosh, Hope, there you are twice. I don't know how that happens. Every time it happens. But if you've taken your trainings before, like I know Hope, Sherry, I don't know if anybody else has, but you know, he'll want to specifically talk to you guys. Are you implementing what you've learned in the art of recruitment and things like that? So, all right, he just messaged me. He'll be on in 1 minute. 1 second, actually. Oh, 1 second. Okay, so we'll wait for that. I don't know if anybody else is planning on getting on. Or maybe even calling in. I know this was pretty like last minute, and I know a lot of people work during the day. So, Kate, how's Cam doing?
His 2 front bottom teeth broke through last night.
They did.
Yeah, I'm hoping for an easier night tonight.
Oh, that's crazy.
Do you have Bria today?
No, she's at school.
Oh, do you want a friend?
Nope. Jason already called and asked me to watch him Sunday so he can play basketball.
I know he did.
I said, what? He goes, what are you doing on Sunday? I'm like, why? It's like, because I need a sitter for your nephew. I'm like, so yeah. All right. So we'll keep on waiting.
I ran over my headphones.
You did?
We were just talking about headphones. Yeah, today. I'm like seriously bummed about it.
You ran over them in your car?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I don't know. They must have dropped out of my stuff when I was getting ready to go work out today, and I wasn't paying attention, and I ran over. They're like totally smashed.
Are they the white iPod ones?
No, they were like the kind that rubber that fits in your ear. Okay, fine.
Nice. Hey, Josh. Oh, I got you muted. Hold on. Can you unmute yourself? Okay.
Here I am.
Awesome. We're recording, just so you know.
Okay, that's fine. I will try not to say anything stupid, but I can't.
Okay, so I kind of gave everybody the background. Some of these people in this on the call have taken your art of recruitment. They're in the big push group for Summit and just kind of, you know, specifically this week. Mm-hmm. And so I told them you're going to kind of do a little presentation or talk or something, and then we'll do like a question answer session.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna teach for about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna ask you guys some questions because I think me asking you questions is actually way more powerful than you asking me questions. Okay. However, I'll try to leave some time at the end. If you actually do want to ask me questions, that's fine, okay? Because I know that some of you may actually have questions, but I promise it's always way more powerful for me to ask you questions, okay? So I want to chat with you a little bit about belief and something actually me and Andrea have chatted about on our last few calls because I know that you're all pushing for big goals, okay? And the thing with pushing for big goals is we actually start to challenge our own belief system because all of us for our entire life have basically had specific things that we've allowed ourselves to believe about ourselves. I think all of us have like kind of an income level that we're kind of like comfortable with, like, okay, I can make that much, but not that much, right? Like my day job, I made about $50,000 a year, which honestly isn't bad. But if you've heard my story about how broke we were, that's because we were a single income family. So 50,000 doesn't sound too bad for like one person, but when you think about the fact that like that's the equivalent of a husband and a wife making $25,000 a piece. Like, that's not a good income, right? And so when I first started life coaching, and Andrea might be a little pissed when she hears these old prices, I only charged like $60 a session. But at the time, for me, that was like really, really hard to say out loud, because I knew at my day job I made about $24, $25 an hour. So to say out of my mouth, yes, that's going to be $60 an hour to talk with me. It was really hard, because I was challenging a belief that I had in me that I was only worth $25 an hour. And maybe I could see myself being worth like $30 an hour, but to go from like 25 to like 60, that's a huge jump, right? Now, you will be happy to hear, Andrea, that my prices have actually gone up since me and you started working together. So now they're actually $200 an hour, which is also really hard for me to say at first, right? Because every time you go to a new level, you're constantly saying something out loud that you may not even believe about yourself yet. And we deal with the same issue when we're pushing for, some of you maybe remember pushing for Emerald and thinking, can I really hit Emerald? Like getting two people to believe in me? It's not really about getting two people to believe in Beachbody, is it? It's about getting two people to believe in you, that you can take them and successfully lead them down a path to get where they want to go, right? And then maybe you get to Emerald and you start feeling pretty comfortable with two coaches. But then Andrea starts talking about this diamond thing, and you're like, 8 people? Can I really get 8 people to believe in me and to trust me and to think that I could lead them down a path of success? And so then we start having these crazy thoughts that really come from our negative self-worth, thinking there's just no way 8 people are going to trust me. There's no way 8 people would want to be a part of 8 people. And now I have to get 2 of those people to actually like sign their own coaches. And we start thinking that that's a really big deal, which is funny, because if you talk to coaches who are, say, 2-star, 5-star, going diamonds, like, we're like, sign 8 coaches. You could do that tomorrow. Just go talk to 100 people and you'll sign 8 coaches. Because looking back is always easy. Once you get to a higher level, it's always easy to realize that that's all it took to get to that level, because you're no longer at that level straining for that. Now, then you start thinking about hitting elite. Man, I know I got to 2-star or 3-star or 4-star, but going 5-star elite, man, that's like this big jump. Which is funny, because coaches who are now 7 or 8-star are like, oh, elite, that's not that big of a deal. And they're going, but 15-star? And the truth of it, the only point I'm trying to make to you guys is that there's really no difference in any goal. Any goal you set is higher than what you're already at, which makes it challenging. And it doesn't matter how little or how big the goal is. If it's beyond where you're at right now, it's very, very, very challenging, because you have not convinced yourself yet that you can actually do it. And up here, and even sometimes in here, you're questioning, am I really capable of that? And so here's the thing. When you start pushing for this goal and you decide, you know what, maybe I can, maybe I can't, but I'm just going to go for it anyways, right? That's what we have to all do, because I don't know that anyone's ever convinced that they can do it before they actually do it, right? Like, I don't know how many dorks we have on the call, but me, I'm a big Marvel fan. And, there was a movie. What was it? Actually, it might not have been a Marvel movie. What was it? It was some dork movie that I was watching, because that's pretty much all I watch. And somebody was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. It was Star Wars. That's what it was. I knew it was some nerd movie. It was Star Wars, okay? And he's about to land at light speed. I don't know how many of you have seen the new Star Wars. And one of the characters is like, is that even possible? And he goes, I never asked that until I've tried. And the point was, is like, I don't know how would I know if it's possible if I haven't actually tried, right? Which is such a great way to look at life, because we're always trying to figure out what's possible. Truth is, none of us know what's possible. Could any of you actually take the time to imagine yourself figuring out how to get to the moon and back? I mean, that's crazy. That is 100% impossible, isn't it? Apparently it's not, because somebody did it, right? In fact, many people have now done it. But that seems so, like, what? How do you even calculate, like, how much fuel you need to go to the moon? Like, how do you measure how far away the moon is? How do you calculate when each engine needs to come off? I don't know, but somebody wanted to figure it out, so they did. Which tells me that there really is no impossible thing. In fact, God said it himself. If you read the Bible, I don't know how many of you believe in the Bible, but the Tower of Babel, they said, we're going to build a tower all the way to heaven. And God had to change their languages and confuse them, because he said anything that man imagines, he is capable of doing. And God never destined us to come to heaven before we died. So he had to put an end to it. But such a great point. Like, even God realized, if I don't confuse these people, they're 100% going to build a tower all the way to heaven. And that's not what I destined. That's not why I put them there, to spend their whole life building a tower to come to eternity. Like, that's for another time, right? But the point is, God created us as such incredible beings that there really isn't anything that's impossible for us. There isn't. We can literally do anything we're willing to imagine and do. Now, notice I didn't say try. I didn't say imagine and try. I think a lot of people imagine and then they try. How many of you lost weight trying one of the workout programs? If you decide to try one of the workout programs, I promise you 10 times out of 10, you will quit week 2, if not before. Am I right? Because all of us have this thing. My mentor on the John Maxwell team calls it a terror barrier, not a terrier barrier, even though that's what I thought it was called for a little bit. A terror barrier. Other people have called it an upper limit. You can call it your lid, whatever it is. I want you to imagine this right here, this line in the middle, this really, really bad, here, we'll use pin. How's that? I want you to imagine that this pin, okay, is a wall in your belief system. And on this side is your conscious mind, and on this side is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is where all of your beliefs about who you are and what you're capable of are stored. And your conscious mind is just what your 5 senses, what's currently running through your brain. Some of you currently are thinking about how hungry you are. Some of you are currently thinking about how bored you are. Some of you are currently thinking about how, I don't know what you're thinking about, how stupid I am, whatever. This right here is not your belief system. It's just what's running in one ear and out one ear right now. But the thing is, if we put something in here, it kind of just bounces off this belief system wall, our lid, okay? Unless we put it in there so many times that it actually begins to break through into our actual belief system. A lot of you believe what you believe today because of lies that people told you your entire life. Somebody told you you weren't pretty over and over and over and over. Somebody told you, maybe with their words, maybe with their actions or the way they treated you, that you're not valuable, that you're not worth success. All of these different things that we believe about ourselves is because someone else told us or showed us, and it came in so many times over and over and over and over that it eventually became an adopted belief that is permanently there until we do something to change it. So a lot of you right now presently do not believe you're even capable of going diamond. Now you're working toward it and you're doing the work, but man, it's getting hard because there's something in you that's fighting back saying, you can't do this. What if you fail? What if you don't hit the deadline? Then you got to feel like a failure, and then you got to tell everyone that you didn't hit your goal. And how many times before have you not hit your goal? And this is going to be one more time that you didn't hit your goal, one more time that you're a failure, one more time. And then we're going to be back to square one, feeling like a loser like we always do. Why even try? Why do these beliefs come? Because here's the thing. You've got this wall here, and this wall is important, okay? It really is. God put it here on purpose because he didn't want us to just believe and adopt every single thing that came into our ear. That would be very dangerous, wouldn't it? If every single thing that ever went into our head, we just adopted it as a new belief. Our belief system would be changing every 2 days, right? That's not healthy. God put this here intentionally so that we would have the power to change our own belief system, but only through intentional effort over and over and over and over, because he wanted to make sure that if there was something that we were going to adopt as a new belief, that it's something we wanted really bad. And so here's what happens. We got this wall here. It's kind of fun to look at this pin up on my face. We got this wall here, and we're doing personal development every day. We're doing the convos, sending out invites, posting, getting vulnerable, and we're trying to get it in there. We're trying to make ourselves believe. You guys ever felt like that? Like you're like literally trying to make yourself believe something, and you're trying to push it in here over and over. Here's the thing. When you get this close to actually breaking through that wall into your belief system, I swear to you, all hell breaks loose. And it feels so terrible. In fact, I'm a pretty emotional person myself. And when I've ran into this lid before in the past, before I realized what this was, I would have such emotional breakdowns that I literally thought it was God trying to talk to me and tell me that what I was doing was the wrong thing. Because the emotions were so strong, I thought, how could this be anything other than God? And on one hand, it was God, because God created that wall for my safety, but it was not God trying to tell me this isn't the right thing. It was instead God saying, if this is what you really want, you're going to have to fight for it. Nothing that you have ever really, really, really wanted in life ever came easy. Am I right? Especially if it was a change. Does anybody remember their first few weeks of their workout program? It kicked your butt, didn't it? And the only way you conquered that, hopefully most of you have been doing it long enough that just working out every day is no longer like this big, huge obstacle or challenge. It may not be fun and exciting, but you've kind of got to the point where in your mind, you just know, hey, that's just what I do every day. I'm going to chug my yellow drink, get my Energize in me, and just do it, right? Because I know that I'll feel better when it's over, right? But it's only because you were willing to do it day after day after day after day after day, and it was hard and it sucked, and you wanted to cry and you wanted to give up and you wanted to quit and you wanted to go to the store and buy 30 pints of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but you just kept going day after day after day until one day you woke up and it wasn't that big of a deal anymore. It's like something had broke, right? It's because you finally broke through your lid. You had done it long enough over and over and over that you finally broke through, and you had adopted a new belief system that working out isn't that big of a deal. May not be the most fun thing in the world, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just something I do, right? And you guys, I would bet, knowing that the deadline that some of you are working on are running into that lid right now. And everything in you is saying, what if you can't? What if you don't? You mean you're going to be a failure? Why even try? But here's what's funny about our stupid upper limit is the questions it asks us, they hurt because we're so emotionally attached to what's going on. And we're in a very vulnerable place at that time. But if we really stop and use logic, other thing God gave us, just like brain, if we just stop and think for a minute, what if you don't? How many of you, if you don't do anything for the next week, will hit your goals? Anybody? So what you're telling me is if you quit, you still don't hit your goals, right? If you do nothing, there's no chance, there's absolutely zero chance of you ever changing your life and having what you want. In fact, Einstein, we all know this saying, says doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is insanity, right? So if you go back to your old way and expect to ever have a different life, you're insane. It will not happen. You cannot go back to your old life and ever have something better than what you had. If you go back to your old habits, your life for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years will look the way it's always looked. And I don't know about you, but I didn't like my old life. And I'm guessing you didn't either, or you wouldn't be here today. You're here today because you want something better. Because you want something better for yourself. You want something better for your family. You want something better for your future. You want something better for the world. That's why you're here today, right? And you can't get that something better by going back to your old ways. The only way you can get it is by penetrating through that stupid upper limit. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. It's not gonna be fun. But I feel like when you know and understand why it's happening, it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. Because you wake up every morning and go, gosh dang it, I don't want to do this, blah, blah. Oh, hold on. That's just my stupid upper limit. Just go do it. Just go do it. So when your brain starts asking you those stupid questions, what if you don't reach your goal? Remember what Mr. Gamble, he was my 8th grade basketball coach, but also my history teacher, said this: when you are taking a test, never, ever, ever leave an answer blank. Because if you don't answer at all, you have a 0% chance of getting it right. But if you at least guess, you at least have a chance of getting it right. If you quit on your goals, you have a 0% chance of ever hitting them. But if you at least just show up every day and go for it, you at least have a 50-50 chance. And guess what? If you don't hit your goal, remember what Grant Cardone says in the 10X rule. It was never about the goal anyways. You're not a failure if you don't hit your goal. If you don't hit your goal, guess what? The earth is not going to catch on fire and burn away just because you didn't hit your goal. It's like, oh, sorry. It's over now. Your life is now over. You still have more time. You can still keep pushing. How many of you have got on the scale and saw, oh man, that's not the number I wanted? Does that ever happen to anybody else? What'd you do? You kept going until you saw the number you did want to see. And some of us are still having to go to get the number we want to see, right? It didn't just end because I did 21-day fix, and at the end of 21 days, my goal was to lose 20 and I only lost 15. I guess I'll never work out again. No. You came close. You didn't hit it. So what'd you do? You kept going. You did another round. And I hope that when you got done with the next round and did hit your goal, that you set a new goal. And that's the other thing that I want you to think about, guys. Whatever your goal is now, first thing I need you to do is push through. Do whatever you have to do to hit that goal. If you don't hit the goal, number 2, keep pushing, because you will eventually hit the goal. And number 3, when you do hit the goal, immediately set a new goal. People fall off track so many times in this business because they put so much energy and effort into hitting one goal, and then they stop. And then they get comfortable. And guess what? If you go diamond in the next week, I'll be incredibly proud of you. Andrea will be incredibly proud of you. We're going to throw a party. We're going to shout you out all over the place. But your journey does not stop there. It only starts there. Celebrate for 24 hours and then set a new goal and start pushing for it. Because that's how success works, guys. I got to where I am today because every single month, I could pull out my calendar right now and show you, every single month last year, I set a goal for how many clients I wanted to sign that month. Then I broke it down into how many clients I wanted to sign that week. And then I broke it down to how many people I needed to talk to every single day. And when I hit that goal, guess what? I set a goal for the next month. And when I hit that goal, I set a goal for the next month until my goals were no longer signing clients, because now I have a waiting list of 50 people. And now my goals are, okay, I want to get 150 people into my training group, or I want to help 50 people quit their jobs this year, or I want to hire 2 full-time employees this year, which I've already hired 1. The point is the goals have to keep growing or you won't keep growing. And if you stop growing, I mean, you just go back to being normal. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be normal. Normal sucks. Normal, stupid. I can't stand normal. So I'll shut up now and ask some questions. But I really need you guys to understand this upper limit thing, man. I need you to understand it does not come easy if you really want it. You're going to have to recognize that it's there and just keep pushing. In the process, it's going to take a few extra cups of coffee a day. But you have to ask yourself, how bad do I want this? How bad do I want a better life for me and my family? And keep pushing. Okay? So I want to ask you guys, so far, what, like I said, we all have this limiting belief that we're running into. I want to ask you, let's start out with Megan Mulligan. I can't unmute you because I'm not the host. Can you unmute yourself, Megan?
Yep, sure did.
What's the biggest limiting belief you're running into so far?
Everything about myself, that I can make a difference.
Okay.
And, yeah.
So the question your brain is asking you is, can you really make a difference? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
So tell me why you can't make a difference.
Because nobody that I've signed so far has committed and completed anything.
Yeah. How many people have you signed so far?
Not too many. I would say under 20.
Okay, under 20. So you said no one that I've signed has wanted to do anything so far. I said how many people have you signed? You said not very many.
Yeah.
So do you see the relationship there?
Yes, I do.
Megan, I work with clients that sign 20 coaches a month. Do you know how many of those coaches actually end up doing something?
Probably not very many.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to drop some names of top 10 coaches, you'd probably be like, they're probably the most incredible leaders. People probably just like literally get in line to sign up with them, and everybody, because they're such great coaches and such great leaders, everybody probably is just active in the team page and works their butts off. That's what we assume, right?
Yeah.
So when we see what's going on with us, we're like, we must suck. But the truth is, a lot of top coaches pay me a lot of freaking money to help them figure out how to get people to actually do something. Because they have the same problem. And the problem is not rooted in you. This is what I need you to understand, okay? When people say no, first of all, to a challenge pack, they're not saying you're not worth $150. They're saying they're not worth $150. It's the same with your business. When you sign a coach and they don't work the business, they're not saying you're not good enough of a leader for me to want to do anything. They're saying, I don't care enough about my future to do anything.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
You're on one hand, we're always the problem because we always need to be growing and learning. But on another hand, we're never the problem because people can only do what they want to do.
True.
We can't force anyone to work. We can't force anyone to be inspired. The only thing we can do is continue to be inspired, continue to be motivated, and continue to grow as a leader. And if we do that, we will help the people that actually want help. But people not wanting help does not make you a bad leader, right?
Yeah.
Any more than people not wanting jobs makes someone a bad employer. If 20 people come in and apply for a job and you try to hire 20 people and they all say, no, thanks, I changed my mind, I don't want the job. Does that make your business a bad business?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even a reflection of the business at all. It just means 20 people didn't want a job, right?
Yeah.
We internalize things way too often in this business. Based on what others do and don't do, we somehow internalize it as that's like an automatic reflection of us. So you keep owning what you can do. Okay?
Yep.
And if you sign 50 or 60 coaches, I promise you, you'll have 5 or 6 people that will want to work the business. And if you keep being inspired, they'll want to be inspired with you. Just remember, it is a little bit of a numbers game. I don't like to say it like that because I love people and I want to help people. But if you really want to help people, you have to be willing to find a whole bunch of people. Because not everyone you find is actually going to want your help, even if they sign up and say, I want to work. Most of them don't actually mean that, right, Andrea? People that say, I want to work the business, I want to go all in, I want to do that. That's honestly, anytime I have a client that says, yeah, I just signed someone the other day, they said they are all in. I'm like, gosh, dang it, they're going to be a dud. Because usually when people say on the first day they're all in, 9 times out of 10, they are an absolute dud. In fact, they're usually the worst. They usually end up stirring up drama and being weird and crazy. And it's just like, it sucks, man.
I know that to be true because I've had girls who 8 coaches, that's it, just 8 people. I can do that this week. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then no, they're the worst coaches. I don't know what it is. And they quit quickly because they didn't get that success early on.
Yeah.
They burn out.
Yeah. Anyone that says without knowing even what this business is really about, because you don't know what this business is about on day one, you know? Anyone that says on day one, I'm all in, that tells me they're an emotional person and they make emotional decisions. And if you make emotional decisions, man, this business is going to be tough, right? Because this business is an emotional roller coaster. So if you make emotional decisions, you're going to quit the first time the emotions are going this way, which is going to be, 5 days out of the week, right? Does that help at all, though? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Sherilyn, I know you're driving, but I want to talk to you. Can I talk to you?
Hello.
How are you, Sherilyn?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your biggest limiting belief right now?
Mine is that I can effectively teach or lead my coaches that are coming on. I've tried a lot of different systems, the Get Started Right system and different things, and nothing really, I find, of course, is a cookie cutter thing for everyone, but I've really not been able to find the ability to successfully get someone started off running right from when we sign.
Okay.
So I know a lot of times that plays into my belief that when I start signing coaches that I can actually get them started right.
So let me ask you this. If we were to go down to the track right now, okay, and we were to line up 8 people on the starting line that all had broken ankles, and we taught them everything you could possibly know about proper running technique, about what kind of shoes to wear, to even teach them which insoles to wear. I mean, I used to sell shoes. There's some pretty technical crap you can get into, right? Which kind of shorts to wear, all of the proper attire and all of the proper how-tos and how to properly make sure you keep your hands loose when you're running, because if you tighten them up, that's not good. It actually flexes all of your muscles, which wears you out quicker. We could go into all this stuff, man. I used to run track, so I mean, I can kind of like make up some BS here to like whatever. Would those people with broken ankles be able to sprint the 100-meter run just because we taught them all the right stuff?
No.
What if they didn't have broken ankles, but they were just people that just showed up to the track to hang out and they didn't want to run, and we still taught them everything? They're fully capable of it, but we taught them everything and they still didn't take off for the run. Is any of that on you?
No.
Does that make you a bad teacher?
No.
Does it make you a bad leader?
No.
No. See, again, we're internalizing other people's issues. I mean, if people want to start right, they could get on YouTube right now and build a successful business just based on all the training videos on YouTube. I think people are always trying to reinvent the process of getting people started right. And I'm not saying that you don't need to have a good process, but at the end of the day, you can't make people get started right by any tactic that you have.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you can do is what we do on our health and fitness journey. What do? Do you create some incredible, amazing process for them to learn everything there is to know about health and fitness and eating right? Or do you get them to buy a simple DVD system that they just put in and press play every day and just do their thing and check in an accountability group? Is our challenge groups not probably the most basic, simple thing that like a monkey could run on their own if they wanted to?
Right, yeah.
And yet we get results, right?
Yeah.
But you know what also happens in our challenge groups that I think we forget about a lot of times? 70 or 80% of people never even show up past day one. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, for some reason, I don't know why. I really don't know why. For some reason in challenge groups, we have the ability to not really worry about those people as much and really, really focus on the people that are showing up and help them get results and celebrate those results. And if other people drop off, we just really don't care. It's like, I mean, part of us cares, but part of us is just like, whatever. That's just what happens, right? Mm-hmm. Something happens when we sign them as coaches. We expect more out of them because they said, I want to be a coach. But I'm just going to be real here. People are flaky and don't know what they want in life. And someone saying, I want to be a coach is really no different than someone saying, I want to be in your next challenge group.
Right.
80% of people, if not 90% of people, are going to flake out and never even show up. And that doesn't mean you had a bad challenge group. That means people are flakes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I need you to remember this. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your getting started right process. You just need to sign enough coaches that someone actually wants to get started right. You need to keep finding people until you find someone who actually wants to take a lap around the track with you. But we never know who that person is going to be. Sometimes that person is a discount coach. A lot of the top coaches that I work with started out as discount coaches. And that's why we can never prejudge people and think, well, I'm only going to sign the people that are really serious about it. Because again, the people that say they're serious are never the people that are. It's usually
I try to remind myself of that from the art of recruiting that you said that.
Yes. Our problem is not that we don't have anyone that wants to work the business. Our problem is we just don't have enough people. So I want you to keep press and play. Okay? Keep showing up every day, and you talk to every person on the planet until someone decides they want to run the track. In the meantime, I want you to keep running the track as hard and fast as you can so that people will at least know what it looks like when they decide they want to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks.
All right. My homegirl Esperanza.
Hi.
I just tried to speak Spanish and it's horrible. I apologize.
Esperanza.
What's that? Say it again.
Esperanza.
Okay. I won't try. I'll just let you say it. Give me your biggest limiting belief right now.
So I think that I've grown through most of my beliefs.
Okay.
I feel really good about the direction that I'm headed.
Mhm.
I think the one, I guess, limiting belief that I do have from time to time is that I struggle with thinking, how am I going to hit Success Club 5 or 10 when I can't even hit 2 in some months?
Mhm.
That's the one thing that every once in a while creeps in, and it's like, can you really do this?
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I struggle with. But they're just moments. I try to like flesh them out as quickly as I have them and just keep pressing forward.
Yeah.
It's very discouraging sometimes. I tell Andrea that, but then I say, okay, it's really not discouraging because, again, it's just a moment for me. I just
Yeah.
you want to hit the mark, and it's sad when you don't hit the mark and you fail in the area, but I know I just have to keep pressing forward. So, your class was amazing. It helped me grow so much.
Beautiful.
I've learned so much from you, and I know that this is possible for all of us. I really, really believe that. So that's just my biggest struggle right now, is just sometimes I do have that limiting belief, like, can you really do this? You can't even hit,
Yeah. I have seen a change in you. I've seen it just in your posts. I've seen it on your face. I swear you can tell when someone's belief has changed in their eyeballs.
Oh, thank you.
Their eyes light up. You can see it in their pictures. You can. There's just something changes, and I've seen that in you, and I'm so proud of you for that. So here's what I want you to think about. Okay, if you're afraid that you're not going to hit the numbers. Oh, now I recognize you, Sherilyn, now that you have your profile picture up. Sorry, it's always different when you see people's actual Zoom as opposed to their profile picture. Now I notice you because you got the freaking cool tattoos on your arm. Okay, sorry. So something that I do personally in my own business, when I'm scared that I'm not going to hit a goal, when I'm scared that you know what I do? I just increase my actions. I just say, you know what? I'm going to do even more than I thought was necessary to hit that goal. If I was talking to 10 people a day, I'm going to talk to 20 people a day. If I was spending $10 a day on Facebook ads, I'm going to spend $20 a day. But like whatever it is that I'm struggling with, I just say, screw it. I'm just going to do more. And there's something about that kind of has a way of just like freaking kicking the butt of any stupid belief you have that doesn't think you're capable of doing it. I like to fight fire with fire in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't think I can do it, let me actually prove to you that not only can I do it, but I will actually exceed that goal. And then if I don't hit the goal, you know what? I love what John Maxwell says. Take no longer than 24 hours to celebrate a success or to be down about a failure. Take 24 hours to allow yourself to process it and then move on. And I don't even like to take 24 hours, to be honest. I don't like to take more than 3 or 4 hours. I have a little like meme thing that I post. It's like I had like a graphic designer do it. It's a picture of me and it says, every single time I fail, I use it as motivation to never feel that way again.
Oh, I like that.
So when I don't hit a goal, here's what I do. I sit and I let myself soak in the pain of that for 2 or 3 hours. Not even kidding. I just like soak in that pain. And then I use that pain as fuel to go do something even. I don't know how many of you guys played sports growing up, but like for me, if someone ever like played dirty and like did something to like knock me over or trip me, there's like a little switch that like just hits in me and I get up so pissed off. I would usually score like 20 or 30 points after something like that. Because it was like, there's this like switch that just gets hit in me, like this trigger of like, okay, you tried to rob me of what was mine. Now I'm going to prove to you that much more that it's mine. And so I want you to have that attitude. There's a little bit of attitude about it. You know what I mean? Of like, you know what? You don't think I can do this? Let me prove you wrong. So if you don't think you can do enough, if you don't think, just do even more.
Do even more.
Does that help at all?
Yes, so much.
Okay.
I'm so inspired.
I love it. I love it. I'm excited for you. You're going to do awesome things, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, now I have E. Miller. I'm not sure if that's pronounced right or if that's...
It's Aaron.
It's Aaron? Oh, it's Aaron Miller. Okay, that's kind of what I thought, but I wasn't sure. What's up, Aaron?
Hi.
So let's chat. What's your biggest struggle right now?
It's a lot, but my biggest one is that I'm a bipolar, anxiety, depressed person clinically.
Okay.
And so I always fight with all the crap that's going on in my life because there's so much extra crap going on that I can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And I always think that no one's really going to want me as a leader because I'm a mentally handicapped person. Oh, I hate that word. But I struggle with that. And the fact that I've grown up being told I was a failure my whole life. And so I always revert back to that. No matter what, I'm always going to fail. Oh, goodness, I'm going to cry.
It's okay. It's no problem at all. Here's what we need to fix with you, okay?
Everything?
No. Nothing in you needs fixed at all. Here's what does need fixed is the way you see you.
Right.
Okay? You opened up. Your very first thing you said was, I'm anxiety, bipolar. I don't remember all the exact words, but you didn't say I sometimes struggle with. You said I am.
Yeah.
Which means you are actually owning that as your identity.
Yes.
And John Maxwell says, we will never live beyond our own self-worth. You have actually owned your struggles as your identity instead of realizing who you are that just happens to struggle with a few things.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
You, Aaron, are not bipolar. Now, you may struggle with bipolar. That may be a symptom that you're dealing with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you, I bet $1 million, are a kind, compassionate, caring person. That's who you are.
Right.
And you've taken all these symptoms and adopted them as who you are instead of just what is happening in your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because 2 years ago I finally accepted that that's what I have, and before I was really just hiding it and struggling it.
Yeah.
Since I basically came out about it, and that sounds weird too, but
No, that's cool.
About it, that I felt better, but at the same time I feel like it's just a billboard, like a neon sign.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. And you know what? I'm glad you opened up about it, because that is the first sign. You know what I mean? We don't want to hide the struggles that we're having. That's not going to do anything for it.
Right.
But we do need to face it. And there's a big difference between just coming out and actually facing it.
Right.
So being honest is the first step, but then we actually need to face it. And the way I think you need to face it is by simply, I'm going to give you a homework assignment that I want you to do with Andrea here, because I only got 11 minutes. I want you to come up with 10 things that you love about yourself.
Okay.
And every single morning when you wake up, I want you to say those 10 things out loud. Because I want you to get a picture in your head of who you are, not what you struggle with, okay? I had bruised ribs for the last 3 weeks because I was kind of an idiot riding a longboard down a really steep hill, and I had to bail out and just crashed hard, okay? So for the last 3 weeks, I have not been able to work out. But does that mean I'm not a healthy person?
Mm-mm.
Or does that just mean I'm struggling with an injury?
Struggling.
There's a big difference between having an injury and being crippled. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I wasn't crippled. I mean, I could still walk around. I just had an injury, okay? Do not allow yourself to be defined by your injuries.
I like
We
that.
all have injuries. You know?
Yeah.
It's just that some of us focus too much on our injuries, and
Right.
that injury prevents us from actually living life.
Right.
Sucks that it couldn't work out, to be honest. I was really pissed off. I had just gotten like my meal plan like back on track and stuff like that. Of course, it always happens like that stupid upper limit. Want to kill that thing sometimes, right?
Right.
But those bruised ribs didn't define me. They altered the way I had to do some things, but they did not define me. It was just something I had to deal with for a few weeks while things recovered. But I did do the things I needed to do to recover. I was icing every day. Okay?
Yeah.
I was doing the things I needed to actually recover. So 10 things, okay, that you love about yourself. I want you to send it to Andrea. You're going to start saying it every day because you got to love you first, okay? That doesn't mean you can't still talk to other people. It doesn't mean you still can't invite people to join you on your journey because they've got injuries too. And guess what? They're going to need somebody to help them through their injuries.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just because you're injured doesn't mean you can't help people.
Yeah. I like
You
that.
invite people to join you on your path to healing. That makes sense?
Yeah. I like that.
Okay. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for being honest. Amy, you are next on The Price is Right. Can you unmute yourself? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Good. Okay, so my biggest limiting belief is that people are not interested in what I have to offer.
Ooh, I like this one. This one's fun. Why? Okay, so why is that?
I come from kind of a fitness background already. I'm a big runner, and I do a lot of like mud runs and stuff like that. And it's a very Beachbody coaches are very controversial in that field.
Yeah, people hate us, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So there's like that balance of these are people that I want to be friends with and run with, and I have that, relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't want to cross into this line of, oh, you're a Beachbody coach, I don't want to talk to you anymore, and don't bother me with your stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to navigate that, I guess.
So first question, what has Beachbody done for you? I mean, why the heck are you doing this if it sucks so bad?
Good question. It forced me to be much more consistent with my workouts, and it kept me a lot more accountable to what I actually wanted to do and wanted to accomplish. And I run a lot more now. I'm much stronger than I was before. I was just I would go to the gym every once in a while. I was sporadic.
So more accountable because obviously there's a better routine. Running is kind of sometimes just like, yeah, I feel like going for a run today because it's not raining, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So has that helped you?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Probably even made you a better runner, right?
Yep.
Because you're in way better shape than you used to be.
Yep.
So do you think maybe that's some things we can talk about on social media? About how you used to just run and it was great, you loved it, but honestly, since you've engaged an actual daily workout plan, you're in better shape, you're more accountable, more fit, and now you're actually a better runner too. But let me ask you this, that's just social media. That's not going to reach all your goals just because you talk about it on social media. What about other people who you're friends with that also just run sporadically and really could use some extra accountability?
Yeah. That is where I struggle, is trying to figure out who those people are, because I do have a few of those, but I know that there's more.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out how to reach those people without more or less offending everyone else, because that's how they feel if you even suggest.
So number one, what if we just asked?
Yeah.
I'm a runner too. I love running. The only problem with running that I had was, even though I loved it, it was kind of sporadic, like here and there, which, to be honest, I wasn't really that fit because I just wasn't doing it consistently. Have you ever had that problem? Actually, yeah, I struggle with that all the time, blah, 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 blah. Well, Let me ask you this. Would you be interested in something that would allow you to have accountability to do something every day? Huh. Yeah, actually, that'd be really, really cool. Well, hey, let me send you some details on my next challenge group that I'm actually, what's really cool is even though I'm still a passionate runner, is I now have the opportunity to help other people on their health journeys too. If you're working with a lot of runners, I promise you there are people who have already had a desire to churn their passion into a profit.
And I do see that a lot. I see a lot of people.
Nobody else out there teaching them how to do that, right?
Yeah.
And that's the first thing is I want you to think about, just ask and use the struggle that you had to find out if they have the same struggle without ever even bringing up Beachbody yet, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing I want to know is, honestly, at the end of the day, how you're going to build a business just talking to your friends.
Right. Well, it's not, I mean, obviously I build in other ways too, but that is my biggest, I feel like that's my biggest area of opportunity.
Yeah.
But it's also my biggest struggle.
Yeah. Right. That's usually the case. So I want you to think about two things, just asking the question, just let it go from there. If you ever want to be non-confrontational with people, just ask simple questions. My whole coaching process is just based on asking people simple questions. Andrea, have I ever asked you some like magical question?
No.
Just basic, simple stuff. Why'd you do that? Why didn't you do that? It's so easy. I'm telling you, I could train a monkey to do this stuff. But we don't usually ask ourselves those questions, right? They've probably been dealing with that problem for a long time and just never taken the time to like ask, okay, how could I engage a process that would help me be accountable? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just ask, okay?
Okay.
And I promise you will offend a few people in the process. That's part of business.
Yeah. I just need to accept it.
Just accept that if you really, really, really want to reach your goals and do what you want with your life, there will always be offended people that don't like it because they're not doing what they want with their life. Jillian Michael says when people hate on you, it's because they look at you and see something they could have become if they would have put in the work they knew they should have done.
It's true.
So we're always going to have haters because there's always going to be people that aren't putting in the work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, next up on my list is iPhone. Apparently I have iPhone here.
That's my sister, Katie. She texts me. She's like, wait, do I have to do this too? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Katie, what's happening? You gotta. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, Lord. Hold on. I'll unmute her.
It's okay. I got it.
Okay.
Under control.
This is Andrea's sister?
This is one of my sisters, yes.
How cool is that? Did you just mute yourself again? What are you doing over there?
I know.
Okay.
You gotta keep it up.
Right.
You gotta
I'm
keep it
unmuted and I'm going to stop touching the phone.
Good idea. Good idea.
Okay.
So what's your biggest struggle?
I think that my biggest struggle is probably that I worry about what other people think about me. So like I'll get going really consistent and then I'll get negative feedback and then it'll make me like clam up a little bit and then I'll stop.
Yeah.
And then I get yelled at by Andrea and I have to start again. But
what do you want in life? Why are you doing this?
Because I want to be able to like just go contingent at my job. I don't want to have to work full time anymore.
Okay. Why?
Because I recently had a son.
Okay.
Little baby.
Okay. So, I mean, you kind of like the kid or what?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Probably love him to death, right?
Yeah.
And you would do anything in the world to be able to wake up in the morning and not have to say goodbye to him.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So now let me ask you this. People on Facebook, Instagram, wherever the heck you're posting, what's more valuable, their opinion of you or your kids?
I guess my kids.
You guess?
Yeah, my family for sure.
Now let me ask you this. If I told you that you could stay home with your kid for the rest of your life and the only thing you had to do was go piss off 15 or 20 people even maybe say something offensive to them. Would you be willing to do that to spend the rest of your life being at home with your kid?
Yeah.
1,000,000% you would, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we don't usually think of it like that, because in the moment, we're emotionally attached to what's happening. And so we don't think logically about what's really happening.
Mm-hmm.
You would be willing to offend 15 or 20 people, probably to their face, if that would allow you to stay home with your kid for the rest of your life and give him all the stuff that he wants, right?
Right.
And all I'm asking you to do is offend 15 or 20 people on social media where they'll never even see your face.
That's true. I just have to remember that in the moment, like it's easy to say now, but in the moment it's like, oh God.
Of course. And here's the thing. When they do hate on you, it is going to feel like crap. But when that moment comes, I want you to think about how good it will feel to be at home with your kid. And I want you to compare those two feelings and tell me which one's worse. Having to live the rest of your life with a couple people hating your guts, or having to live the rest of your life not getting to see your kid every day.
It doesn't even seem comparable when you talk about it, you know?
But that is the reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we very rarely live in the reality because we're caught up in the emotion of the moment. But the reality of it is being home with your kid every single day is worth spitting in people's face if you had to.
I don't know about all that, but.
And we're not even asking you to do that.
Right.
We're actually asking you to inspire other people to live their best life, to inspire people to make changes so that they can stay home with their kid. Mm-hmm. And if someone's got a problem with that, I've just gotten to the point where, like, here's the deal. I'm here to help people live their dreams. If you got a problem with that, I don't give a crap. You can just unfollow me. You can unfriend me, whatever. I believe in people and I believe in helping people. If you want to sit around and criticize and be a hater, I got no time for you.
Okay.
And I know that's like, it takes some time to develop that attitude. It does. Mm-hmm. But you develop that attitude from focusing on the people you care about and the people you want to help. And eventually all that other crap doesn't seem like a big deal anymore.
That makes a lot of sense.
Cool. Okay. Andrea, I thank you for letting me chat with your team.
Yes,
I hope it helped. I gotta take Carrie to a doctor's appointment. We gotta go find out if this baby is ready to come out or not, because
oh boy. Yay.
We are ready. We get an extra sonogram today.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time too. And for sure, we'll keep you posted how everything is going. But yeah, I appreciate your insight every time. Like, you're changing lives and you're doing good. So thank you guys for jumping on the call. And yeah, just keep pushing. It's Friday. It's a big day for people. So, all right. Awesome.
Cool.
See ya.
Thanks for your time, Andrea. Bye, everybody. Bye.